Hi, my name's Ishmael, and today we're going to be talking about stamp duty and some of the other government regulations that have come in the last week, which are changing how we buy property and how much we can save. First off, we'll talk about stamp duty. So they've brought in a stamp duty holiday starting last week, the 8th of July. That stamp duty holiday applies to anyone buying a property, and the stamp duty relief is up to £500,000. Now, it depends whether it's your first home, your second home, additional home, or various other things. But effectively, for the first £500,000, you're only going to be paying the additional surcharge if you are buying a property up to £500,000, and you're not going to be paying the stamp duty. So normally when you buy a property over £125,000, you pay a 2% stamp duty plus a surcharge if you are buying an additional property. From now until the 31st of March 2021, you will not be paying the extra stamp duty of that 2%, and you will not be paying the extra 5% above £250,000, etc. up until the £500,000 mark. There will not be the standard stamp duty added on to the surcharge. Now, the interesting thing is, which a lot of people do not know, that if you go onto the government's service calculator, it asks you whether you're buying a first property, a second property, whether you're moving your main residence or not. If you actually go through the calculator and type in the information, you find out that if you are moving your main residency, even if you own buy-to-let, even if you own a holiday home, even if you have 5 properties in your name, if you are moving your main residency where you live, you're selling that and buying a new one, you still get the stamp duty holiday. Therefore, you do not pay any stamp duty on properties at £499,000, even if you own 3 properties in your name, as long as the one you're moving from and into is your main residency that you live in. So this is something that a lot of people have not been speaking about, and a lot of people probably did not pick up on because it's not clear. But when you go to the government's calculator on stamp duty and you type in that you're moving your main home, you'll find out that actually if you move your main home, you do not pay that stamp duty up to £500,000. So if you're moving your main residency, you do not pay any stamp duty on any property purchase up to £500,000, and then from £500,000 to £925,000 you pay 5% stamp duty, and so on from there on. So this is a big difference for a lot of people who may or may not have been considering moving before, because that means that you don't pay that stamp duty on the first £500,000 regardless of how expensive your property is, so you save a lot of stamp duty. The second thing that they are talking about is making it easier to do developments. Now, the details on this I'm not entirely 100% clear on at the moment, but I understand that they're talking about allowing developments when you're doing 2-storey developments on top of a block of flats. So if you've got a block of flats which is 3 stories, assuming it fits in with the area, you can, under permit development, go to 5 stories. And other things like old buildings you can convert. If they are not being used, you can convert them into residential buildings. If they're detached buildings, you can knock them down and turn them into residential buildings. They're making it a lot easier to basically convert commercial buildings into residential housing, because they can see that commercial buildings are going to go down in price due to the lower demand for them. A lot of people have now been working from home, so what they're going to be doing, they're probably going to be starting working from home a few days a week. The office space isn't going to be needed. Shops are possibly shutting down. People have got used to buying online. So I think that the high streets are going to start emptying, and that's why they're making it a bit easier to do developments on various shop conversions, various use permission from various shops to other shops, or restaurants to takeaways and back to shops. They're making all of that a lot easier. The other thing they are also doing, which they are also bringing in around September, the talk is, that they are going to be giving you £5,000, whether it's a buy-to-let or a homeowner, to do improvements if you are improving the EPC of your property. So if you've got single glazing and you're doing a refurb, you can go to double glazing and get that £5,000 grant. It's a grant, not a loan, which means you don't pay it back free money. So you can upgrade your windows, you can upgrade your doors, you can upgrade your boiler, you can upgrade loft insulation, you can put wall insulation in. All of this under the government grant that they are going to be releasing in September. And it's £5,000. That's quite a hefty chunk of money if you're doing a refurb on a property, and that you can save £5,000. You could put a brand new boiler heating system in without having any boiler in the property to start with. You could save all that money. You could go from single glazing to double glazing and do the whole house. You could save all that money. This is not only obviously making the property more appealing to tenants if you're renting, but you can do it on your own house as well. So you can improve your own house and save yourself tons of money if you do this after September. So I would recommend looking into that in September when it comes in. So as new rules and regulations coming, I'm going to be updating them on here every week. So keep an eye on this channel and keep an eye on the little loopholes that other channels don't pick up on, such as the moving your main residency with your stamp duty. Keep an eye out because not everyone picks these up. So subscribe to my channel, click that bell notification icon so you get these little hints and tips which other people don't pick up, and I'll see you next week.